Do you smell bacon? I smell bacon. You know what time that is? When you smell some bacon, it's time to learn how to play some Grimm Forest. I'm going to tell you about it too. Okay, welcome to Grimm Forest. Now, why was I making that little bacon joke earlier? Well, because everybody gets to play a pig in the game, and these are the 4 different colored of pigs that you can do. Great little sculpts. This game has really good production value, and funny, the first player is the last person to eat. The first player is the last person to eat bacon. So that's a pretty funny little joke. What you're going to do now is everybody's going to grab a player board, and there's 4 different whatever scenes here that you can have, and it just goes with the corresponding color of the base of the pig, and you choose that in your player board. And the player board has areas on it where here, here, and here, but it doesn't really matter to build houses, and this is where you're going to put resources as you get them. So this is your basic setup. I'm going to move the player board just slightly out of the way until we need to come back to it. And so you want to set up, you'll have off to the side here, you'll have a friend deck, a fable deck. You'll have your main board right here of play where you can gather. This is the fields, the forest, the brickyard, and the market. And you start off by putting in the bottom number down there, you'll see that you would put 5 resources there, and 4 wood resources here, 3 bricks here, and then 1 of each kind over here in the market. However, if you got less than 4 players, you would not play with the market, so you would just remove that. Also, likewise, in a 2-player game, you might use this because this is like a ghost player to show you where other pigs go. Now, this has a simultaneous action selection. Let's say you pick the orange board to play with, so you'd grab the orange cards, but honestly it doesn't matter as long as you're not mixing your cards up. And if you're not playing with the market, you'll remove the gather market card from your hand. And so there's 2 phases in the game. You have the gather phase, and these are little excellent sheets here to show you everything you can do. Literally, this game takes no time at all to teach. And then the build phase, and you just repeat until you have a winner. The goal of the game is to use these awesome pieces over here to the right and left to build houses with. These trays are amazing how they fit. So there's 3 pieces to each house, and I'll just kind of assemble one here in a second to show you what it looks like. So what you're going to do is you're going to say everybody's going to at the beginning take one of their gather cards. They'll choose wisely where they want to go to get some resources, and they'll pick that location. And if they have any fable cards in their hand, they would select 1 fable card to play at this time as well. But you don't start off with any. So what happens is you would play, let's just say it's been around, and you say, oh, okay, you're playing this card and this card. So the first thing you do is you reveal the fable card, and starting with the first player marker, which is this little book here, and you just kind of tell what's going on to every other player. Now, the nice thing is that it doesn't really matter if you go first or not. It just basically is a way to resolve when fables go at the same time. So this says here at the end of the gather phase, if you are all alone at a location, you may take 1 random fable card from each other's player's hand. So and there's a ton of little fable cards which could happen. So then everybody would reveal where they're going, and then you would move your little piggy off of your board to go and collect. And so, oh, where did I go? The brickyard. So you'll go there, and let's just say orange went there and blue went here. And then if anything triggers from the fable cards at this time, they will, or sometimes they'll tell you when they occur, before or after. You'll just apply those, and then you'll split the supplies. So this is the only pig here, so they will get to move the 4 wood to their player board. And so, like I said, every place has a little something. Some of them use pots or whatever, and you just kind of put it there. Thematically, it's just beautiful. So anyway, but you would have to split it with the number of players here. So, but it's rounded down. So there's 3. So you just go make change over in your pile here, and each player would take 1, and you would leave 1 behind. And then you would go to your gather, after the gather phase there, you will go to, when you collect your resources, you'll go to your build phase. And you have some choices here. You can choose any 2 of these. You can choose the same one twice, but you get to take 2 of these if you can do it. You can build, which is the number 1 thing, and if you can afford it. So you'll be cashing in resources, and it shows you what it takes to build part of the house. There's the base, the walls, and then the roof. So like, let's say you had 2 straw, you could cash it in and say, hey, I'm going to build this on my player board. So let me back this up here. So voila, I've got a base of my straw house. And then let's say, I don't know, you had enough straw, 4 more, you would be able to build the wall section of it. So you'd put that in there. There is a bonus. It tells you anytime you build a wall section on your house that you get to gain a friend card. So you would draw a friend card, and I'll explain those in just 1 second. But anyway, like I said, the goal is to get 3 houses complete, and there's a lot of little cards that between the fables and the friends that affect the game. Real smooth and easy. And you can start on another house, but it can't be of the same kind unless this one's complete. You don't have to win the game. It can be 3 straw houses or 1 of each, or 2 brick and 1 wood. It doesn't matter. But I could not start building a second house unless of the same kind, unless one was complete already. So that's just a little rule there to keep in mind. Now during the game also, in the Fable cards, not just little cool things like that last one that happened, but I give an example here. This one's a crystal ball. It says, when revealed, choose 1 player, peek at their face down card, gather face down gather card. You may then change your gather card. So basically you can change your location to go to their location, or you can just get away from their location if that's, you know, more suited to you. But there's tons of great little abilities in the Fable cards, and also that's where your monsters come in. So let me move this to the side, and you can see the minis in the back here, which are pretty cool. And if you do this, basically, as soon as you play this, you'll take the miniature, like this is the wolf, and you can move it to a certain resource, because maybe you think that somebody was really wanting that straw. And so what happens is the wolf has a special ability that it'll basically eat up all the resources if somebody's there, you know, to kind of like, haha, you don't get it. But each one of these have pretty cool abilities. There's like a wolf, there's a bridge troll, you have the dragon, which actually affects the people's player boards and supplies. It says all players at the dragon's location must discard all resources from their player board, and that can be a brutal one. There's giant and stuff. The big bad wolf. He's a good one because he actually can blow down straw and wood houses. It says at the all players at the big bad wolf's location must destroy 1 straw or wood house section of your choice. So that is that's pretty cool. And there's a lot of little wolves because there's 2 wolf miniatures. And it says if you run out of miniatures, if you draw a duplicate card, you would just lay the card. Let's say you had 3 wolf cards and you only have 2 wolf miniatures. If someone somehow had played a 3rd one, you would just lay the card there, letting them know that that's a big bad wolf. So anyway, building phase, you can choose to take build as one of your 2 actions, and if you can afford it, you can take it twice, or you can draw a Fable card from the Fable deck. So you could build a section, draw a Fable card, or just draw 2 Fable cards. You can take special actions, which all are on the friend cards, which I'm about to show you here. And let's see, or you can gain 1 resource of your choice. So like, let's say, oh man, I've been trying to go here, but people keep messing with me. So you can just go to the supply and go, yeah, I'll take this and I'll build, or I'll take 2 of those, or 1 of brick, and you know, any combination you want. Or you can say, I'll grab, like I said, you can do any combination you want. I'll grab a Fable card and I'll grab a straw, or I'll build and I'll grab a Fable card, but any combination you want to do. Now special actions are on the friend cards, and I'm just going to tell you how they work. Every person's allowed to have 1 friend. And shouldn't that be in life? You should at least be able to have 1 friend. And these friends do different things. Like here's Cinderella. Let me just show you. And they tell you in the game, it's real nice. It kind of tells you basically what phases and everything they trigger in. It says, after gather cards are revealed, move to your gather location and gain 2 of the resources before any other players move to this location. You still get to gather resources. So basically, she kind of comes in and snipes. So if anybody else was there, like on the brick thing, you would have got 2 bricks, and then only be 1 brick left in that last situation. So she's a pretty good card. But anyway, each one of these have tons of different abilities that do things. But something interesting is, though, if you already have a friend, because you're only allowed to have 1, if you draw a new one, then you have to make a choice. So let's say you had, you know, Cinderella on your side, and then you gained another friend. You'd have to go, oh, well, you know what do I do? Do I want the woodcutter? Do I want his ability? If you do, you have to discard that. But you can give it to somebody else. Now, if they don't have a friend, it just becomes their friend. But if they had another friend, they would have to get rid of it for the woodcutter. So sometimes, even though he has a pretty cool ability, the other person may be really exploiting the ability of their last friend pretty good. So, like, let's say, you know, nobody really likes my Cinderella card. Well, somebody, when they gain a friend, they might go, no, you're taking this card now, so I'd have to get rid of Cinderella. But I would get whatever ability that the new friend had. And that's pretty much the long and the short of it. There is a builder bonus. The first person to build a brick house or a wood house or a straw house, it shows you on the back. And everything has pretty decent iconography on these. So you get your choice if you're the first one to choose one of these three things, which is either grab a friend card, you can grab 2 Fable cards, or you can grab 1 of each resource. It's your choice when you do it. But it's, you know, even if somebody blows your house down that you were the first one to build, this only triggers one time. Once whoever built, you know, the first wood house and or whichever house it is would get this bonus, and then it can never be gained again within that game. So yeah, you just keep playing around and having fun. It's real simple and light, but a beautifully attractive, gorgeous game to look at on the table. That's Grimm Forest. Okay, so here we go. We have the Grimm Forest, and aesthetically pleasing. This game probably doesn't do anything super new that you haven't seen before in games like this, as far as like you gather resources, then you build the buildings or whatever you need to do for that. But I hate to judge a game by its aesthetic quality, but the beauty of this game really kind of bumps us up a little notch, because the table presence of the beauty of the player boards and the colors and the figures of the monsters and the pigs themselves, really fantastic. I'm surprised they didn't take the extra step and not do better, even more components on instead of the little cardboard stock pieces. Who knows, maybe there was a Kickstarter that you get the better pieces in, but it was really enjoyable. My group enjoyed it. I have to give this definitely a passing grade, a solid 7, maybe a little higher. Yeah, I highly recommend to play this, and if you don't like it, then I would just boycott bacon, because that's all you can really do in this case. All right, my name's ET. Thank you so much for watching the Dice Matrix. Until next time, keep the dice rolling.